What is up guys, Andy Forrest, Team Runner here, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm giving my thoughts on the Novablast version 2 after 500 miles. So what a shoe. Cruised up and over the 500 mile mark in this thing, setting a record on this YouTube channel. Probably for the most appearances of any shoe, but also the highest mileage review I've ever done. I think the last one was like a 400 mile review, and that was in this thing or the previous version 1 Novablast, but the version 1 never made it to 500 miles. This thing it takes the trophy for the most number of miles that I think, not that I've ever put in a shoe. I think I've got some to like 550 or 6, but I never shared my thoughts on those. That was many, many years ago. So this thing really does take the trophy. What a shoe it's been. But am I now retiring it? Is it finished? Is it done? We're going to share all of those thoughts, including the wear and tear and all of that good stuff now. If you're excited for the video, make sure you give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and we'll start with the wear and tear. So I think visibly in terms of wear and tear, the shoe really is not degrading at all. It really is holding up so well, especially, I mean, look at this upper. It's just no snags, no tears, no nothing, especially down the front there. I think in the Novablast version 1 in the 400 mile mark, I did start to get a little hole appear around the toes, but just nothing in this shoe. It is holding up really well. I highlighted in the 400 mile review that some of the heel foam had been pushed forward and kind of digging back into here a bit. You can see that ridge there. That was the first real aesthetic change from the original first impressions video. But again, as I said to you, all that's happened is a bit of the foam has moved a little bit further down the heel, and that's where I've been a bit lazy and just tried to get my foot in while the laces are a bit tight. To be honest with you, nothing has changed from there in terms of the wear and tear. The one thing that has changed and that I have noticed now is the foam does start to feel a little bit lackluster. It's started to lose its pop, in particular over the last 3 or 4 runs. Really started to notice it from around the 450 mile mark. Some of the last runs have been a little bit laborious. They feel a little bit more like I have to put more energy into the run than I used to have to. Obviously the Novablasts are infamous for bouncing you down the roads, but this thing now slowly starts to feel like it's losing a bit of that bounce. But hey, can I blame it? It's hit 500 miles. So in terms of wear and tear, aesthetically, looking at it, absolutely nothing. I think the main thing to point out at this stage is the foam does seem to be losing a little bit of its pop. So how have I been using the Novablast 2 since the 400 to 500 mile mark? Well, just like the previous iteration, just like the previous 3 to 400 and 2 to 300, I have been using it mainly for easy running, some moderate running, although the Endorphin Speed 2 run shields have been taking a lot of the moderate runs these days. Just find them a little bit smoother, lighter, nimbler for those moderate runs. Really enjoying those for that. But this has mainly been the easy runs. It has had, I think, 1, maybe 2 long runs, and it has had a standout tempo run in this shoe on the hills as well. So the story of that is, I just took it out on the hills. I just fancied doing something different in this shoe. I was just feeling like, I looked at my shoe rotation, I thought, do you know what, I'm going to take you out as a workout day, but it's not like a proper workout. It's just going to go and work hard on the hills. And for me, that's really where this thing came into its own a little bit. I know it's heavy, I know it's a daily trainer, but the cushion and comfort levels up around those hills, when you're not going for a pace, you're just going for an effort. Hills are all about effort. You can forget looking at your watch and GPS and all that jazz. It's all about the effort that you're putting in. And it just gave me comfort from mile 1 to, I think it was a 10-mile tempo run. It was absolutely amazing. So I loved it in that aspect. It was brilliant for that particular run. And as I said, that combined with the easy running it's been doing, and I think a long run or two, has got it to that next 100-mile milestone. The tempo run surprised me, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think it would be as good as it was, but it was. As I said, it just gave me the comfort that I was looking for out on those dry, dusty, rocky, hilly terrain. And yeah, just surprised me with the grip when it was a little bit slippy and sloppy. I just flew around that course feeling really, really good. So on to the main question, is it done and dusted? Is it down and out? Is 500 its limit? Well, I'm not quite sure, if I'm honest with you. In previous videos and mileage updates, I've been like, hell no, I'm carrying on with this shoe. I kind of feel like I've got to a point now where I've proved my point. I think the point I wanted to prove with the Novablasts back in the beginning is just how durable they are, just how far they can go, just how well they're built. And I feel like by me, someone who's 6'6", who's like 88, 89 kilograms, really putting some good weight and force through this shoe, it lasts me 500 miles. That is proof enough, isn't it, that this thing can go the distance. I'm not retiring it, that's for sure. I'm going to keep it there. It's going to sit quietly in the background, but I am putting it now to one side for the moment. This will come out on special occasions. When I'm feeling nostalgic, I'm not promising a 600-mile update. I've got the New Balance 880 version 12 in. I've tested that and I've only got one run in that so far. And I need to start getting some more runs in it because I've been going for this thing instead. Yeah, I still prefer the Novablast to pretty much any other daily trainer at the moment. But as I said, I have noticed a slight lack in the foam now. I am noticing that it is getting a little bit duller, a little bit flatter, but it's still, do you know what it is? It might have lost the pop and the bounce, but it still has that cushion. It still has that kind of, you know, foot protection. There's still so much that this shoe has to offer. It's still so squidgy. It's just lacking a little bit of bounce, just going a bit flat. So I think the best way to describe it is I'm not retiring it, but I'm not promising a 600-mile update, and I'm going to use it not sparingly, but I'm going to use it here and there, drop it in here every now and again. But I now need to prioritize other shoes, and I also want to prioritize other shoes. As I said, I feel like there was a point proving exercise with this to myself, not just to you guys, to myself. This shoe is built to last. Loads of you guys have also proved that in the comments by how far and how many miles you've got in your Novablast, and I feel like it's a big tick box now. 500 is an immense amount of miles, as I said, the most I've ever done, and I am really, really happy with that. So those are my thoughts on the Novablast version 2 after 500 miles. I still can't believe I'm saying after 500 miles. I never thought, even a couple of years ago when I was testing all these shoes, that I would ever have time or fit in a shoe to get to 500 miles. But to be perfectly honest with you, the Novablast has just been my go-to daily trainer, and I've sacrificed testing a lot of daily trainers for this thing. I have just not wanted or bothered to buy any other daily trainers because I've just wanted to plow the miles into this shoe. Ultimately, at the end of the day, guys, as much as I love making my YouTube videos, running itself is my focus and training is my focus, and I've got to run in what's comfortable for myself as well as testing out other shoes. There's a fine balance. I don't just like to buy shoes for the sake of it. I try and buy and select shoes to review based on my style of training and whether I feel it's going to work into my rotation. So that's, excuse me, that's why I now want to take the 880 version 12s forward. I really enjoyed that first run in them. Yeah, a little bit heavy. Yeah, not quite got the magic that the Novablast 2 or the Novablast 1 has, but an enjoyable shoe. And I kind of feel like that foam really needs to start breaking in. I need to put some miles in there. As I said earlier, only one run in it so far. I've got plenty of catching up for that to do now, and quite excited really for that shoe because, as I said, it was enjoyable. Just thinking now ahead to the warmer weather, it's quite thick and quite padded, so we're going to have to see how that goes. I think the feet might overheat a bit. We're going to have to wear some thin socks for the moment, but as always with these shoe reviews, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Miles or kilometers, whatever you've got your Novablast V1s or V2s to, let me know. Let's put this to bed. Let's say that this is an insanely durable shoe. And you know what? If you haven't tested the Novablast or you haven't got them to this mileage, what shoe have you found to be the best mileage hog for you? What have you put in the most number of miles? I know I've asked similar questions like that before, but I just feel like that's such an apt thing on the back of this video. To get to 500 miles is just, it still blows my mind, and I'd love to know if you guys have got well over 500 in a certain pair of shoes, and if they kept going. Let me know in the comments below, let everyone else know in the comments below, and let's get that discussion going. That's it from me today though, guys. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure you give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Until then.